There was a bill dropped last week and heard in Education, Senate Bill 1416, that basically strips your elected superintendent of their the duties assigned to them by the legislators to hand those responsibilities over to an unelected board. That bill was dropped by Senator Dial. When I met with him prior to the session started, he told me his intentions were to turn the elected superintendent's office into an appointed position, and asked me how I felt about that. I assured him that I put my trust in you, the voters, and that you deserve a voice to speak for you in the education of your children and grandchildren. Thank you. What has been happening for many years now is the unelected state board has just been usurping the power of the superintendent with a hired executive director. And statute's very clear about where the management of employees belongs. We've proven since the last session that the employees under the control of the department have mismanaged many things, including the supervision of, or the reporting of, by the investigators of teachers who have either done immoral or unprofessional acts. And I'll share a little story with you that came out years ago. There was a teacher having sex with a student, left the school district, student A, left that school district, was put under investigation. That investigation was never properly reported to other school districts or in the databases. That teacher was then hired by another district. She then started having sex with another student, student B. Student A found out and killed student B. And that's what happens when things are done unsupervised and they're not done with proper rules and procedures to make sure. And that's the department's responsibility on your behalf. So they've been acting, the state board, unlawfully for many years now, and now what the legislature and the Senate wants to do is codify that unlawful act and now say it's lawful. I have asked the courts to resolve that situation and interpret the law the way it currently stands, because the way it currently stands is in the best interest of you, the citizens of Arizona. But I won't be able to do that. So that you know, although it's in court proceedings, we have reached out, I have reached out many times to the State Board of Ed and said we're willing to mediate this and have a court-ordered solution so that we both agree and just can't change things. There's been a lot of talk about a bill last year that was intended to make a tiny little tweak when I was threatened by, let's just say, the powers that be for the funding of my office and the authority of my office. So while I didn't agree with the concept of the bill, I agreed that it had to be done. And we had a bill written, changed a tiny little bit. As it went through the legislative process, it was changed more and more and more without my agreement. What last year was an 11-page bill that the citizens of Arizona clearly said they did not want. They want their elected superintendent to have the authority of the office. This year's bill is 54 pages. So, when I was out on my listening tour toward the whole state of Arizona, not one person that I spoke with called for less democracy. Not one person I spoke with called for the authority of their elected officials to be put into the hands of an unelected board. So I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for you to contact your legislators here, ask them to vote no in any way, shape, or form this bill comes through, and I also respectfully ask that you contact other legislators too. I promise you, as long as I have the privilege to hold this office, I will work for your children, your grandchildren. I will ensure you have a well-run department that effectively uses your tax dollars and doesn't waste them. But when that control is taken out of my hands and given to an unelected, unaccountable board, then I can't keep my promises to you. So I thank you very much for your attention.
What's the bill number?
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you, Jean. Senate Bill 1416. Thank you all so much for your time, and God bless.